Abusia obeje di se finally that the lumba lawyers about out abetire the documents omo that lumba edi nkomo efa ho no chere say that lumba can say eye adwapade a woyeye nyina no eye Maame Akosua Serwaa ene ne ma edia abusia ene finally yehu say eye that lumba nankasa enumuto ena ne lawyers ka say ono ene kan say eye adwapade eye Maame Akosua Serwaa edia abusia kame ho ne nkwaje nsem ne muntwemu embra na migusu e kai wo say aha eye K Black Media.
In the assistance now there say will be wo ha anka bana nke pie dada ti wo for different bibi ba there will be serious questions to it in for kwa be doubt the authenticity of that na ko nyompa what mase inti ebia true there can be exception but any can say any side issue we mfa but wo there the moment any pan be free mu no I was a war possession of it now. So the we going put a traveler 1 year craba. Am I announcement? Who is any pana shahin? And for now, share fin out this akrata and about any pan well. When I will query issue, we knew.
But we must have a question, Chairman.
And I also say,
I say, Papa, me the question. Some Maame no komba ya 1 week muso kwa asase bi so
no ene castle am up for request or so form ana woni
me amao masa cheke ama
space si ana me fa no de he na ama moderator no
ai me sa cheke wa fa ma me anya
na yini nyina ye de na ma
ya aseme dwule obi ko yi document fufu bia ba
they say me bebusa a trust and then living trust and what the woo ya still also make no court wana
say oye living trust no woo ya
yeah
and no say nipa ne free mu a e was say ofale because say nipa ne living trust there was so my court ne aware say nipa no ja bibi say na to ho then say ko ba say court ne decided as to say yenche nipa na japade because 1 year wela the court is going to consider that the court is going to consider that emra ho betum dia che obi japade primarily the will or the early sorry PND solo 111
yeah.
Some running you free wa. Maybe I can be ano. A shesa no na say. In the nipa na trust where be to you have to inform the court. Say be a dear say na nipa no ayentino me de ba. O the kind was at na me wom.
Say o the Maame say from me further question. Ebia we inform the court or high court.
Was anybody in possession of any document? Onokra obo wom say testamental trust must file it. O the baby be was at no. Bisa question na mimbi.
My further question is Ebia Oma confile no Ebia Accra side the high court enyu Kumasi but Ebia trust they say no lumba lawyers no say back out Ebeka say bibi stay ho na say ho am no say back out but that's what my thing because say instructions
and I make a ciao say ya ayi nkofo fali caveat say o say wo bi o ha o say nka o mode no kura ko stop sa early no timeno say omo fa bibia nko stop early na then that means we ni ho forget about wo no I mean sanka wo wanka ba na aba PND slow na e de be change apade ene na e de be change apade
Maame say Fabusa another question from na kwaya gift nso e na won kofo din mu dada
say a gift ya ne won kofo din mu dada o ni pakro na onim say dan we ya wo dan no a nipa ne pese okoje early to so no e so ku tie mu no ka che court ne say e dan ne ye media So the question here is, Denise, or court no, one cocasso with Japadebi.
Yeah.
Carving so Uncle Casso with Japadebi. Or no, court to say court to Sonia no co-administrator. That means on no crazy to Mr. Papa Wanyashi. We enjoy your mom. Like, we never be a mom.
Thank you, senior. Thank you, senior.
Claire.
Me kaya me ebeye man switching wa hanom na me kokodai.
They were clear. And you feel now, because the people, and people want to, and for a coffee document number, and a chinesia baba. People want to come from Madada. Hey,
It's a maybe a question, you know, say it time to far and my twafa. Because I say a beautiful for you. It's a good planner.
Maybe some or some more. Well, Obuwa, I ought to tune a duckum. And then him say, I can't for mamre no, ye need a pinch na, ye miena dakasu. And in case who I yen done a duckum more. And I wait on my prom wakwe. Now 1 year and you could be in a dakasu near Coons a world them one. How the people are going to take it? Because every will be the copy must be in a court. Say encopa controversy be Emma. Until I'm maybe a question.
Intino Pacho, and Intina oh yeah, willa, Yama lawyer and so for instance, okay was at na set maybe section 1, subsection 3, or say a will or any provision of a will obtained by fraud or made under duress or undue influence shall be void. Intino say, oh, okay, say why a will no one my lawyer nyama wa. Other party ni lawyers ni bit me resist that provision way. Say, nipa no kra na we kra na o kana nipa no kra na bi ko ye no under undue influence. Anything na legal document ye ma lawyer na ye no. Lawyer oba be ye we na ma wa. Obe put in place obi nkudina bibi o tene bi enka say we no kra na why no it was under duress. Inti say no question no. Say obi say or word than adake mu a on be challenge the validity of the will because we a lawyer na ye omo muti
When they place in our court
me say will
Lawyer be one copy.
enya ta practice
You
you
would
ya
get
ko ya na
that lawyer no or yeah no or be one copy.
one copy
good, make you see because the engine Americans and say me of a year well. Now well na me of a year no. A china you could ready your court no. Any you be who say enye me of a year because property and enye me of a dia no. Omo indicate you will no say or the achenemba whereby it doesn't belong to my uncle. And the honey came here to challenge it. The executor no know. We called the executor more than 1,000 times. He couldn't appear in a court. So the court dismissed the will. We go the will according to the law. So the gentleman may be just that question. Who said Ghana fraud war? And no, but we don't believe it.
na answer be question no we no o papa we no pa cho of we no hwan na ye
Media ayasemo nasi
so
nasi ane ne yire ene omo ye well ene omo pese ye wonti no omde ko ja na sori enti da ye ko ne nasi asori ene omde world ma ye enti ye bisa sopo ne se sopo wuji di se me wo fa ne si mu pempempe de bro go fa no o yare da dem 1 year. And also, the Shumani at the brain, and he said, okay. Also, implications be on just one study in a year and December. But me, well, I know my apply. No, it can be a lumba one and another. Who knows?
Inti don't say o di say inti na say I say lawyer na ye no.
Actually, no for the lawyer na ye. Lawyer ye bibia. But me over we no lawyer na me country ya train unless ya kuku read the world. No. You need a copy from the church and the court and personal copies to the high court.
a lawyer no ye na odi property enya ono ne dia shame.
Asem no oversee ene dia. Enjoy bibia na me obanso sign ye.
We anyone ye ni ye. Yeah, asemo.
Asa se enti na me keto se Ghana no o se ye no utu kwan a o kasa se dia asem na wa ha na ebi na we ye kuro.
Me ba eja wusu. Me pa cho me see free life no so na sabra. Why?
My day.
Oh no, some moderator dia na me pese me kwa na sabra. Oh yeah. One kasa me pa so.
But mama me read mamo. Session Bacho Mamo Bisa, section 12, subsection 1, 2, 3, and Bekani Nyanuti. Any person who has in his possession or under his control any paper, I say, the emphasis here is mine, any paper or writing of any deceased person. Or see any paper or writing of any deceased person. The instructions be or any paper or writing of any deceased person. Being or purporting to be testamentary shall immediately deposit it with the High Court or
exactly
shall. Subsection 2. If the court with which any such paper or writing the document containing the panel document of that deceased person or writing is if the court with which any such paper or writing is deposited, it's not the High Court, or say it shall forthwith immediately cause it to be transmitted to the High Court. Or say even at all court, deposit or district court, and that's a circuit court. I was out transmitted court and transmitting 10 times so they call High Court. There's a High Court in Kwana, it means the custody of the will.
The will, yeah.
Any person who fails to deposit any such paper, also such paper, any paper, any person who fails to deposit any such paper or writing as required in subsection 1 of this section within 14 days after having knowledge of the death of the deceased. After having knowledge. Inti hana exception e beba no. Inti for instance so obi to kwana se nipa ne tabroche na se for instance onim se lumba ewu a obetumi akame anda ha se na meti akonto mekura minim se lumba ewu na ebia ana minim se mpepe ewu na me papa ne well e wo me ho. Eno ba ha ube prove na ata sunu kire se nipa na e bibi se na wona unim se wewu. And you could my social media account come say or show video be just a lumbe as part of evidence you be prove say you have no knowledge or say of the death of the deceased shall be guilty of an offense and liable on conviction of a fine not exceeding 10,000 or to an imprisonment of not exceeding 10 years. In law, say you can say go into an imprisonment for not exceeding 10 years. Not say at the end a felonious crime. Think of focus say na people be or baby would the agra habit to me of not exceeding 10 years or both. Because we want some no say court na amfa ne nansi from betum the confusion aba. Intino say people be a funny pakono and one right 10 no asem ne bibia watwa to bia yes say I was so to me I was all the back one farm na say ekoba say e chire no the bar You be investigate too. Mama police investigate too. Get into the one famba. No watch that reason tintia. The reason a twa sumu dia court ni betumi age. Se ntwa sumu a waso betumi ahye. And that's social media ya be. Your foul phone is you say even at all. Watch your picture be clear. Say lumba a year who be ben say you had knowledge any penny film. In our share that this year. Intenya better sir.
There are one worker in there. The person can sacrifice and go into imprisonment. Now where na yakai. And I make it.
And me can the same thing.
Intimacy. I wanted the other for Mama you wanya well. No dey untumi defend wanya yet. Na was say nya bi boni bia.
Me patron person bi so bi kakra. Ye friends certificate so I am till now no. E be take effect and na say den and na say ye twem. That's why dem be you.
Me dey me mom dey ma ba be kire emra no ase wa ha appeal timelines. Me ma be kire emra no ase appeal timelines. Me say o ma file extension in a mente ya me anke be me woma. Me as far as I'm concerned appeal time etwum. But send a menu Akosua kano the yenye dini because me no emrana mama be chase ya wa ha se ko ba se bia Maame Akosua Serwaa file extension na wa serve odobu ni mu na omo so die sie se omo nka nche ya eno so ye problem but based on near emrana tie de se one file extension ama court na grant to extension no na 6 months so aso ombro Ghana
Okay.
But what you say?
Matthias pa.
Me wa question no.
Ana wafa mamenga bidwa. Ena certificate na wafa wokan ya na. Ye kan ele na ebekwa kopie wo ho. Because supplementary affidavit na ya Maame Akosua Serwaa ye or describing ho as Mrs. Fosu. Ena or describing Priscilla as Priscilla Fori. Internet ehonom na ye bunkru about the ele na. Obechire adekonti a ono aka say court has declared both of them wife but all describing no o use Mrs. Fosu
And a shindela no se twem na di shindela no wie fi wa na to na anyo bi
me pacho eno na dru court wonim wo file for earlier enye say wo file ye na wa view ye be break case no now we know about so with your supporting affidavit and yes I will file here because me share argument na akwa it say like yeah Maame Akosua Serwaa wa file nko automatically yeah iba be an administrator and say ye na ye kokko join ya nkwa join ya as e be lusu ejapade bi. That is what the discussion was going, and I was letting people know that ye mbunu mpo say ye you as administrator and no just say ejapade na ye the amount PNDC law 111 na eba beche wo wudi awo ye na say wo boaboa ejapade ni ne ano because odika wa hanom ni sika wa ha anyway no ne ade na nti ye mo tumi a wo betumi akwa boaboa no but anya wo na wo umfa bibia ye mfa ele enjina so enche ejapade.
Pacho me wo question kakra.
Bisa.
Ukasa earlier on ka say busempenye ono so ko file caveat no. Kojo bisa question say ne matter na ewo subjudice no and I challenging the status no. Can he file? It wasn't necessary. And I had the answer say because his matter Brimpoma and
so my yes and no explaining yes no explaining
okay. Until uka say Brimpoma and my heady a file a challenging status so I wanted to find out say is it the one currently abusempenyi di omoko court now? Na said the one they filed in December challenging busempenyi that injunction that they filed before the burial no.
that case continuation na
But that is
Dabi.
I sure.
ɛno deɛ I die on his
Man to
own.
us.
Yɛka ebusuapɛni injunction no ɔkɔɔyɛ no. Brempoma ayɛ counter claim sɛ ebusuapɛni nankasa no yɛtu no. Ɛma yɛsi ebusuapɛni foforɔ. Ɛna ebusuapɛni in court foforɔ no ɔno so no aba bɛ join case no. It means that the status no is being contested. And a senior prestige so status is being contested.
I just wanted to know. To know which of the cases now.
It is the new one. The new
okay.
one.
Okay. That's just what I wanted to know. Thank you for me.
Okay, but give time.
It is so because Yenjina Ele so
Sister Madam Pachamba, give time some time beside question say then a better possible reasons in Tia or Manfa Germany property in Ankaho. I'm also perplexed. I'm also perplexed. So the conspiracy or the questions will also come out. And then property in lumba dim because they say property are attached here the old lumba dim. To be bet maybe some property in lumba dim and a DNT. I'm also confused as you are. But when the answer met him the man
and the senior and young one was say Kevin all didn't caveat to the ban Wednesday to womb and young one.
And I give
question.
Now you are right. Pacho bisa question on here.
I'm a son Nana Kojo is a Kojo. Cape and I'm okay. Obis us Emsa can be saying Gina Ele so and Japadi. Sana okay.
So LA no wo no o bo abo Japadiana aban PNDC law 111 any debate Japadiana. You are just an administrator. You administrator.
Yes.
But PNDC law 111. LA Bape who say PNDC law 111 e debate Japadiana.
In Ghana, you, Martin.
Now, Pacho, only the entire year early, no. The law recognizes the estate of the deceased, no, must be protected. Ti 1 year when a day say yenya imrabia ebebo estate no ho ban kopem tama yebe the DPNDC law no ebe che ni estate na ebetumi krama ni estate na ayebasa. So there's a need to have an early so schedule a banker now the early no call who say we were into a Japadi at the end of everything no ebia lumbe Japadi sorry yeah a Japadi na 100 the 100 no and no na mo representing the DPNDC law no action accordingly the early need a first step in a say nipa no sunya letters of administration na isan say yaman is 2 minutes no say for instance who say obi ye Japade na basa or who can say o protect it. But what you say confirm time ye be cheni na ama obi answer Canada na ba be yo mo dia forever tina de bia no lawyers need to move for say na be ya enkofa choka ne kasa bebre ne nkomo bebre ne ndem ayesi o chama ayesi no o de ya wo to ho nani so pon ajagrada no o kano IP so na mi tie no emra guy no guy na o yare no ne hu skasa ma issue no ba na mi normal life so na mi tie also no every 6 months bia or con lawyer work eco change. Ebia lumba semi ma and ebia or no bibia we hunting na oyesa. Into world there is the best thing that can happen to you. Ebama o family any obi bia or dependent peace of mind. We uncle we the any timelines bia was a kind world. you see we are lawyers na frefro mu nyina papa ne ye will say na tie na o ma initiative processor on be change apade na asa intimisa mu wa o hia o ye no o de ye will to 6 months be a renew obi kran put o say ne papa every month be a renew esa choka we nyina ebeba me I can say that same way early in issue when we be Supreme Court now I'm telling you
say eja dem senior eja dem
anka just work keke why watch we dia ma we dia na nka nyina asomadwen but baby akwa kodu
na lumba kwa manti asese wanye we because mami we kra no before ofi e kra ye siri takwa na ono ne beba ono ne wo na ono we trasia abejo kwa menti na fe
wanye real because there are so many property they acquired together. Don't mean you're on to swap for no
quite together 20 years na mami ni life na o ye isi go na mami oni na buy
apply am
this is the gonna start na ko ti ma ko time
o de ma ko fia ye beauty area ho
no wa sa area go and
ono we fa listen go ni ho ya butu
shade
butu futu ka ti say mamu lo kigano Germany ko ni planet
me patro me bem hab ebe ba entro bi o mbetwa bia easily god assassin there maame ni mo hwe eno de atabi wa hab maame ka atemto ye tebu a ye tibi ko deep
is your problem
ye tibi ko deep
this is enyo na do
ko ye kai na na ko to kula nim empayfo be omo amne na beble nim easily god maame ni mo tambe
na betre ha be isi go asase no ye tofu bi ho original one now nti no nyambotre ye to no na Maame Akosua Serwaa nyina mesra
this very person said me kwakoto masase. This was the place that it was named after a friend of members. This person came out to
men yet
I'm
also telling you from my source, say,
and no quadia, Sassan Moka, and no, you better let him. Is logo assassin, Mammy more trade. My man can't have a time. Baby, I can't put a question if you. Ozo baka de mama na to assassin.
The moment find into have his logo down there. Okay, who's on the ma, Mr. The friend on tour.
Move chat to be but his logo down the minimum film.
What time I said there is real, there is trust, there is there and soon.
In a way,
so good tantro.
Usuna we speaking on ABK. Hana straight is situations I say in his wisdom. Lumba dear in his wisdom never knew anyone could contest his wife's status. And question me answer because me answer.
Senior, has somebody contested his wife? Because as I call court no, media will be contested. Will be no be pretty baby one.
They be said no question.
Why? Not pick me.
Don't say there be no question or the person chair say indirectly no person chair say lumba one wari odobro ni no sa no person chair and I be a minim
and we na me business say obi contested
say
your person chair say wa wari na ire or your missus so now adena obi eba be ka say awari no enye valid
yeah
sa no person
intimacy me mom de komna kasa inti
that's now over 40 years. You want to say, the Robert man 17
40 years. Oh no, Germany or Germany. Na Lumba, yes, Lumba,
one say anything about it.
Isn't it weird that the properties have been listed that is in Papa Nidin, maybe Papa decided not to do a will because maybe all of them may have limited liability. Papa Nidin, any only share of it, it's even less than 20% for other people. And then so he does not
need we are talking about his properties. The entire about just limited.
He does not even to make a will. And two, the lawyers, until let's see, the lawyers, they said they have a trust. If they have it in their possession and they were using it for
the lawyers have not said they have a trust, though, Mr.
No, instructions. And they said any paper of the debt should be deposited. So how the Baba Jamal lawyers deposited those instructions at the court?
Good question, my brother, for 80 points.
Obisawa se ompo. Obisawa se o.
Prestige can't say anything paper no. Yeah, your question about me too.
I am not kind of words art no.
If your mom search for will. Search for will. But baby, Baba Jamal
now searching for will. So if there's a trust there now, it should reflect that.
The paper you have must be deposited.
I'm say any paper, any paper.
Yeah.
The trust and whatever you have.
There was nothing like that. If there was, then it's questionable.
No,
but meaning the entire other part no. I am with the somebody to say 1 year will. 1 year will I say pay this on the change.
1 year will.
Let's move on.
1 year go be 20 years now what be 20 years to and be so to be 20 years no aba say no the Japan your year
is there's no divorce then that's not nothing.
20 years to be and wonka obi I was 6 now aba say uni kwa communication kwa uni
oh yeah that lumba
I know also Maame Akosua Serwaa say that we be say
Papa, it's a lesson. It's a lesson.
I said they sell to himself.
Akosua
okay, the Maame properties are Maame any properties are Denise ever listed here. Clearly that in the Maami's view, those properties Denise listed, she was not in how I said that Lumba acquired those properties.
Possible, and I said she didn't even care about that.
Prestige, Mr. Wu, Intene LA na ya Maame Akosua Serwaa ayeno. While let's say on only 50% properties. So if there are other properties, ya list woman. Maybe mbuni say ye no administrator. Does her position extend to those other properties now? Or no one when seeking leave to be given that power?
There be ordinarily it does not, because it was not part of what you brought to the court. But only court no air grantia. Judges need to on which me am an eye open. Say and any other or the bishop say and any other properties that will come to your attention. They are not as a man open jurisdiction no. But normally they are audio calling now so a grant amount. Normally the audio calling now so grant amount. But who could judge be or no or person or wider power there. But like I say and any other. So that means say would you need to Bobby business say a dance or say a lumba there. So say and any other. Until no, which me they was hard to say.
But without any other, that clause, no. So LA is the open ticket to search for Nipa Krone property. So the possibility, sir, you don't know everything, no.
No.
What you say?
Thinking
That's why there will be a search.
Again for that power.
You have to come again.
Because your car, one car account bank kuranka.
And I can say, okay, young funny say,
yeah.
For instance, the court make us or go by request or the bar request none on the man. But say judge no ehunu mobono or the any other kanwa. That any other no or the kanwa. To the woman is how first say na you issue arrest warrant any search warrant. Na express go and search him. Okwa kona ko search bia in the bedroom kwa. And then omuka omo open. Omuka say ade bia we never boss will be a search. Into fridge mukura police ni betime bio fridge ma search fridge ni say eduane wo betime search. And so header to nentisa. Tell the biamrano esesa. Into lady nyoma wo dia kono say open say you grant the administrative powers over it. And no na court ni jira so grant ma. Otukushia judge bia obey magnanimous obey senating bed in whichever way that you want to see it. Which means the other powers amount. Ama wa trawa ushim kura. Etaisi da because the court is the court.
Prestige, but me say we be kakra.
Okay.
Prestige. 20 years now, Papa no. Oye ni a friend say, during that 20 years now, Papa no ni mama ni wo oye na tadwe first na tadwe farms near yi ene ni estates near you know. Oni mama ni communication bia ni whatever many court bi say say on fa ma when we have man no. It is 20 years no more years within that 20 years no. Mama still a claim say oni na year no. Court is beba no. And that's what you need to check.
Oh, sir, Papa need him again. I'm living here.
Come
No,
you the certificate
but
Prestige, Mami Bissau, but if said the missing so listed other items and other properties now, Mami non listed. Once it has been brought to the notice of the court, would if the court is granting LA to Akosua Serwaa another plaintiff now, since the court is in known right now, said that there are other staff of one listing. I bet you have forgot those things.
So these are also one of the good questions. So the court can consolidate all the properties now are coming to its attention. So we Ababe Fale as a co-administrator. So the court can consolidate all of them and make nina one. No, I catch say omumi and say nina omu manage. However, the court, based on the competence, will appoint one as the chief administrator. Because omumi and say nina been to know back was the court back say okay, wona dieni nina mu but who dieni mu. And nuntina unse ohwe enkrano bako eyina. They tried to so she tried to sell herself to the judge, you know. Then a judge who said she is competent enough also add me to her. Then a judge who said she is competent enough to manage it, and it was a beautiful caveat. No, yeah, it was a beautiful one. That is how you do it. You convince the court for the court to know that who are the capacity and the knowledge to manage it. It's even in the law. Court on grant famobia only nimdia or which my administrator. The administrator in famobia keke. And no crown court no court to meet now so every refuse. The court who say only do ya but the court who say only nimdia which make us on farm because on pese basa say be ebeba. Into the court never consolidating I can't boom. Now we'll give you orders as such. We're granted as such.
Prestige. Explain the meaning of caveat. What is the meaning of caveat?
Caveat HSA pause button. Then my chairman caveat a pause button. Obi file early. Nase uwo issues wo ho a. What the tabo ekoto so. Sa tabo na efe ne caveat.
Caveat, you know, that means just to block the person.
No, just to pause the process. The moment the nipa be file early no, a processor atake ko. A time na di adwuma. Nti no issue bi a ko stop process. Engine wa emane nkwanenim. Na afi issues nti a o say engine wa no na waka. To ka.
Yeah.
To ka na court no ehun ni say e pass mu a o say yene sa o say waje atum say ento aso mu so a obeka so onjim tu. But the moment a obe initiate caveat no stop process no for 3 months. So within that 3 months no I will say reason here oko file caveat na say court need to be can ho asem. Because after 3 months no that caveat no expire. The caveat just say pause the process. Is a
So it's like a challenge.
Exactly, a challenge.
It's a challenge.
Yes, my dear. But whatever way. So it halts the process.
With the 3 caveats
So
that has come.
like a challenge waiting for your explanation.
And you know, that means when it can dismiss the early.
Yes, it can dismiss it early based on Asama Adebeba.
Okay.
It can dismiss it.
Because the Bushapenny is on the. You see, the Bushapenny is on. Who was the Bushapenny in the early? So before the Kotoso, the Anese, Lumba Bushan for a Bushapenny, or Miami and Sound.
And I make us say,
Jademuno, and Jademuno.
And then you come as I say, and as I say, and I can say, on the top process, no, a process no more topono. A jabetum like confusion, basically. Hey, every been crying. My bro, ask me. I have the credit.
We are pushing them. And against the game will be ampesobelozi in one side. Portia was a panic caveat. You have to say all this for me. So, me when it was say we do that, but the narrative started on social media. And now, with this mispresentation, they say it was a panic about truly. It was a panic. So, I said they will come together and solve their problem. No more tea.
Tina, proceed. Mami, be a question back. Oh,
sure, say Maame Akosua Serwaa. Obi ne pushi no ko file sa Ellen.
Nyanyanse ne uja Maame ansa. Two teams people are pushing them. I'm telling you. We are Kenya Sembia. We are some. We are some. I was anke edu 1 month.
No, but a lack. Maybe it is lack of trust between all of them. Lack of trust. So of file caveat. Now we are free man. Meaning that the whole people will distrust you in doing this. Any way you have
they came to correct themselves with supplementary affidavit. They came to correct themselves.
You came to correct
yes, they came to correct
you came to correct yourself, but in the minds of the people now who engage you no, in the minds of the people who engage you they think is taking this initial action. Say you stop I did a bit my kind of thing. Say you stop your mindset,
Yeah, Koblan certain they had no have because I find any meaning and confound push you. Meaning say Maame Akosua Serwaa on one casano or Ben Adrian say or 3 months away. Meaning say Odoboni or Ben Adrian say or 2 months away. It was a penny can put the meanings on the crown or was sad idea. I'm going to mind paying for one a peckot month.
I think come to a point everyone is getting a thrill, excitement out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's at that point.
But I think it started from 1st September. One of this trust no Ababi Drune. 1st September. A year 1 week in be distress now, baby do ne.
Abana wonim say ele na nkasa na ye ba na ye kan ele no ho asem krampo na asem na nkasa ye beka substance na ye jabedem because marriage a burial permit be attach obi affidavit a sa burial permit na ye say that lumba ye say no pa koso
Aye.
asem oba
controversy pa
asem oba I hold no idea some bankers and I want say in Kolami no Kramu be at an crown or my muscle because of Yeni say woman in baby you see or more papa.
I don't think that they want him to challenge. They want to join. Until maybe they didn't pick those staffs.
Joining in it means that they don't trust the person who started it.
Oh, sir, there's a point, say, any for bit me administrators. So why can't
I know no some na yeka. Yem pan say many prestige wo ho. Na me trusted prestige. Na prestige aye earlier. I don't need to seek to join. So all the people
they didn't go into challenge whether there was no trust or something because already no. Said
Masa Kevia cannot oh patch say.
We all
to the process. Caveat no what they to so na person o che say court and hot process because nipa ko na ye dey man no won share dan trust no because what trust na
that's what it is.
What trust na dey enti na what dey caveat e kwa koto so.
But Kev, Nipa 4 to me. So why don't they just use the number?
Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about the number. I'm saying, say, Ubi akwakoye early. Say truly what trust no. Prestige koye early. Na prestige oye me wofa. Na se me na me yeba. Na me trust prestige. Me fa caveat bi ankonkoto so. Say me the caveat be kwa koto so na me pese ye me co-administrator na che say implicitly na me trust prestige sa na chere
good morning.
There's something called selfishness to do all many things about trusting. But one is selfish interest in to also pursue a part of the process. And I once at the
I just say won't trust because I just an administrator.
Apart from trust, there's something called selfish interest and a self-interest. When you also feel say the same akunya na wo musmu unya ke yin na yenya musumi na yin na yenya why not say yin na ye beko for once there's a spot for everyone. It is not only about trust. Already in said these fractions now because now you know my any damn you know my basisi they are not in the same camp, so it's just right. Some mobile file for caveat and in their affidavit of interest, they stated they never counter anything, but they rather ask to join.
But they stated that they don't try that Maame Betchen in fail.
That's what the two
children did.
Maybe sir, before them, I think from last year, basically this year, I think Lumba Busia Fono. Oma bua lawyers or Ghana papa. Oma mama jume ombenye sika so. Sika ombetini bi abobra aye niam nyina e call lawyers for a bottom. Me pese bibisa say I think say na me tie bibia na me tie say Calvin omo caveat na ono de koye no. I think say or stating woman say from the AC ever since ane papa wu yeah. Yeah, I think says me pacho if I'm me wrong no be correct me say ne papa ne mama na ne auntie ain't no because of problems ne ade no on pese beba wom ho me pese me who say court e di nani be hwe de ebia e koso wa abontin no ehun say ebia from papa ni wu ye problems koso anase no court no emfa nani enhwe ne pamocho because of state say sa ono hu say ne papa wu ye if I'm wrong and I'm correct me pamocho because me near being kind but no obi na explain na me tie me sremo me pamocho or see the efficient papa wu ye the ne maame anase ne auntie mo ahya ase confusion ne ma aba ne nti no mpese na the early no ebe ma omo ne ade me pam cho me pese mi hu se eba sa court so di na so ana odi na ni behwe ne akoso previous aha also so catch us so the more confusion ebe to us because of past a year abasa nipa miniti mpase mi hu se mpache wo eba sa court no edi nani ebe hwe sa side ho ana wo ye ni hwehwe muso hu sampa ebia papa ni wu problems e sha se ni say court nsensem ana se no de hu hia
Okay. Yes, that's not a bit. Now, lawyer now of Fale, and now of Bois, Kevin Manias, I caveat. Why are they HSA? Or attack the credibility of Nemami, the emphasis. And that is a nice way to tell the court, say, nipa no kra na ono all bad pay for administrator no ono akasa no the credibility no yentumi engine why evoke the main idea of the early court enganti early enfamo bia or vindictive. No, that's not the purpose of early. Court enganti early enfamo obia onye fair. Court enganti early enfamo obia only how to manage. Ebesa neza court no kwa wa mwa. Ti ono no episode che say maame no take position. In the position we take no. One ne other partner no eni adwene baako in the court no e granted the mama me na wamfa omo anka ho a that is indirectly no e between the confusion about because my no onye fair to the other party, so a very strategic pa in the end send a beya enkofa confusion bi amba no ono na ye neutral to ono ye neutral ne de obetuma kan fa ni menu nyina ide abom. That is the main import of what he say, and a good reason pa I'm telling a good reason pa so otumi prove and otumi kana same ya e beto judge na so because why invoke the actual reason of the early ina akoba sanka odogbo ni so nanka ono so ko faale se na Maame Akosua Serwaa faale a anka saa nanka meka no because ekudi odogbo ni ensa ono so onne Maame Akosua Serwaa so